Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, and happy Halloween wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about things in the real world that are much scarier than what we see in the movies. But I want to start with the movie They Live. If you haven't seen this movie yet, you gotta check it out. A lot of people say it's now a documentary for everything that we see today. There's a lot of reference to the elites and the control from the media. Also, you could see AI in this video as well, in this movie. If you haven't seen it, it's one that you need to see. It came out November 4th, 1988. What's ironic about the year 1988, it's also the year that blockchain got started with the David Schwartz patent. And I think that put us on the path to a new financial system. I think it started all the way back in 1988. But BlackRock also started in 1988. Larry Fink started BlackRock in 1988 after being fired from his previous job. He had missed an important phone call and lost $100 million for his company. Now, if you lose $100 million, you're usually blacklisted everywhere. Nobody is going to want to talk to you, especially back in 1988. So I think Larry Fink got a lot of control from the elites. I honestly think BlackRock is a shell company set up by the elites. I think eventually those elites are going to pull all of their assets out of BlackRock at a specific time. Most people aren't capable of thinking for themselves. They want a leader to show them the way. Larry Fink is that guy, CEO of BlackRock. He wants crypto regulations and tokenization more than you do. It's about weaponizing tokenization to force their political agendas that so few can comprehend. Take a listen.
I said, these are just stepping stones towards tokenization. And I really do believe this is where we're going to be going. We have the technology to tokenize today. If you want to talk about, think about this. If you had a tokenized security and you have a tokenized identity, you, Andrew, the moment you buy or sell an instrument, it is known. It's on a general ledger that is all created together. You want to talk about issues around money laundering and all that. This eliminates all corruption by having a tokenized.
You take notice, they always want to tell you it's for your own good. It eliminates all the corruption. But what he wants to do is tokenize you. He wants to tokenize all the private property in the world as well. Because Larry Fink answers to the elites. He's on board with the World Economic Forum. But people in crypto think he's the greatest guy in the world. Look at, he created the Bitcoin ETFs. Wait until they find out that Larry Fink also wants to tokenize all those Bitcoin ETFs and most likely Bitcoin as well on the XRP ledger. Larry Fink is not your friend. He's evil. You know, people need to wake up in this space and look at these people for who they actually are. World Economic Forum confirms Ripple as an official partner, one step closer to a cashless society, XRP, one step closer to a digital panopticon. You know, we all know Ripple has ties to the World Economic Forum as well. But I think that tie is the reason that Ripple got tied in with the BIS, the IMF, all the central banks that are building out their CBDCs on the XRP ledger. And I do believe it will eventually lead us to a cashless society. I'm not saying that I agree with everything that Ripple stands for, because there's a lot of what Ripple stands for that I really don't like. But I invest in XRP because I know it's the future. I know it's going to set us financially free. And I am not going to miss out on this once in a lifetime opportunity. But I could get into digital ID, because Ripple is also pushing digital ID as well. And early on, back in like 2020, 2018, they also had the RFID chip. I think it even goes back earlier than that. And Ripple was on board with that as well, where they want to put the chip in you. Again, I am never ever getting that chip. But I also am not a fan of CBDC. I talk about CBDCs. I see them for what they are. In the wrong hands, they are set up to enslave people. And I always told you, you got to get rich and break away from the CBDC. I still think we need a digital bill of rights ahead of a CBDC when that time comes. Then there's Elon Musk and the AI push. Elon Musk said, I think by 2040, probably there will be more humanoid robots than there are people. Every country will have an AI or multiple AIs, and there will be a lot of robots, way more robots than people. So if he thinks there's going to be more robots than people by 2040, I would figure within the next, I don't know, maybe 6 years or so, we will have 25% robots working side by side with humans. And that's also going to be a big push going forward. But Elon Musk also says there's a 10 to 20% chance that AI will go bad. So if he already knows that there's a chance that AI can go bad, why push AI in the first place? He's also pushing automation, driverless cars. He also got that approval for that brain implant, Neuralink. FDA approved that very quick for Elon Musk. And I'm sure there was other companies working on that other than just Elon Musk. But he got that approval above the rest. AI will enhance nuclear command and control, says Stratcom boss. So now they want to tie in AI with nuclear command and control. I think they're getting way too ahead of themselves with AI. I don't think AI should be able to launch nuclear missiles. There's no way this is going to turn out well in the end. I'm thinking on the lines of Skynet here. Remember in the Terminator, it was AI that launched the bombs. It was the computer system that launched the bombs. And they want to tie in AI with the U.S. nuclear system. 40 years later, the Terminator still shapes our view of AI. You know why? Because everything that we see in movies, even up until now, it was all everything you've seen is now becoming reality in real time. You see a robot in a movie years ago, and all of a sudden you see Elon Musk with all of those Optimus robots. October 26, 2024 marks the 40th anniversary of James Cameron's science fiction classic, The Terminator, a film that popularized society's fear of machines that can't be reasoned with, and that absolutely will not stop until you're dead, as one character puts it. But then they go on to talk about Skynet. The plot concerns a super intelligent AI system called Skynet that has taken over the world by initiating nuclear war. Amid the resulting devastation, human survivors stage a successful fight back under the leadership of the charismatic John Connor. And now they're tying AI in with our nuclear system. I mean, you can't even make it up at this point. It doesn't make any sense. The World Economic Forum Insight Report, October 2024, Digital Asset Regulation. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is a member of the steering committee, and Lauren Believe is part of the working group and reviewers. So when you're sitting on the board, and you also have Chris Larson on the board at the IMF, you know where this is all going already. That's why these countries are building out on the XRP ledger with their CBDC. And when I talk about cashless society, I think a lot of people really don't understand that. You know, everybody says, well, I already use primarily credit cards and debit cards already, so cashless society would never really bother me. I wouldn't even notice it happening. But when cash is gone and they freeze your credit cards and they freeze your debit cards, you have no other option. Cash is always that other option. But once it's gone, it's never coming back. And that does away with a lot of jobs as well. You know, there's a lot of jobs inside the United States where people work for cash. Those people would most likely be out of a job under a cashless society. Plus, waiters and waitresses would not make the money that they make now. Everything would be taxed as well in real time if we were to have a fully digital system. But that's the direction every country is going in right now, because the World Economic Forum already has people working in all the governments of the world. And then you got to look at Agenda 2030. Do we want to live like this? Social and carbon credit system. Once carbon credits come, that's the end of Bitcoin. And anything that consumes energy will be gone at that point, because you're going to be required to have carbon credits just to mine Bitcoin. You're going to have carbon credits to spend Bitcoin. Drones, facial recognition and movement sensors, mobile phones, mandatory vaccines, rationing of food and energy, patent on seeds and restricted access to heirloom food. They're already trying to keep people from planting gardens. Abolishment of genders, ban on alternative medicine and treatments, universal basic income for citizens who comply with the current things. Universal basic income is how they're going to onboard a lot of people into the government system, because people do not want to turn down free money. AI is going to force a lot of people into universal basic income. Controlled fertility, reproduction, depopulation, elimination of cash, rationing of energy and other natural resources, abolishment of private property. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Like I said, they want to tokenize everything around you. Only the rich will own property, because you will be able to buy 100% of the tokens associated with your property, with your house, with your vehicle. Fourth Industrial Revolution, big tech, Internet of Things, AI, digital currencies, etc. It's up to us whether we want to allow this to happen. But a lot of this is already happening in real time. I keep seeing people saying we need to stand up to in the face of the Great Reset. We got to stop the Great Reset from even getting started. But it got started a long time ago. All the way back in 1988 is when this actually started. And that's why I said it's ironic that that movie, They Live, came out that same year. Because before 1988, they did not have the technology. They didn't even have any idea on where the current financial system would go in the future. I think this is the same reason that we have the government racking up more and more debt all the time. They already know a reset is coming, but they're going to control you through technology as well. The Fourth Industrial Revolution is code for Great Reset. So is Build Back Better. It means Great Reset. AI is going to be running the new financial system. If they're tying it into the nuclear system, you can bet it's tied in with the financial system as well. I already think it's being utilized in a lot of areas. We've seen it tied in at some banks. Some of the bigger banks said they're going to use AI to determine if someone gets approved for a loan or not. But you know, the things you see in movies that are scary, the things that are happening in the real world are equally as scary. The movies just showed us what was coming today. But I wanted to do this video as kind of a great reset video, tech video, crypto video, show you we're invested in the future. It's not doom and gloom. It's waking you up to what's going on around you. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. Once again, happy Halloween. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.